pivotal research raising its price target on Netflix to $1,600. That is a News Street high. Your next guest also raised his target to $1,500 from $1,222. He's got an overweight on the stock and says deals with YouTube creators like a Mr. Beast could be the next big catalyst. Joining us now is Wells Fargo senior analyst Stephen Cahall. Stephen, thanks for joining us. You note, and I'm going to quote Stephen Cahall back to you, that Netflix is still a professional content service. In other words, you watch movies that somebody else made, maybe shows that professionals that were hired by Netflix, like a Squid Game or whatever it might be, made. It's not what a lot of the younger people are doing, scrolling through TikTok videos. How does Netflix win in environments where everybody's kind of addicted to their phone and not their 70-inch flat panel at home?
Yeah, and thank you for having me on. So that's kind of the exact issue we were thinking about when we put together this report on where Netflix growth could go in the future. One of the things we looked at in the note was the way young people and even middle-aged people are spending time with the growth of these engagement platforms like TikTok and Instagram. And it is having a negative impact on how many hours people spend, certainly at the middle and lower age cohorts on TV. And if you're Netflix and you're thinking about deepening and broadening, the content that you offer, some of this very, very high value professional short form seems like sort of a natural in between where it still has a big impact with consumers, but it's not quite the really short mobile native, user generated content either.
So how do they win in that environment?
Well, what you might remember is about 10 years ago or a little longer, when Netflix was mostly a library service and they were looking to become an original service, they did these exclusive showrunner deals with people like Shonda Rhimes and Ryan Murphy to be exclusive to Netflix and create content for Netflix. Well, the argument here is that they can do the same thing. They can go find these really large-scale creators who put a lot of content on YouTube, they get a lot of viewership, and they make a lot of money. And they can say, hey, come to Netflix. You have the same size audience. We're global. We're huge. We have high penetration. We'll pay you money so you don't have to take risk on what the advertising market does, like you do on YouTube. And you can make whatever content you want and have this very good home on Netflix. And this is something that co-CEO Ted Sarandos, has certainly suggested as well when talking about the creator community.